Testing. Good morning, grasshoppers. The restart took longer than one round. I apologize for the really the story, though. It's so much better having a beard, you know? Get everything set. Slowly getting everything set. And now I'm not here. Fair enough. Hopefully it's loud enough. So Zephyr is off and running. Playing Viper for the first place spot. Let's check him out. Uh-oh. I think I have the arrow keys controlling it. So we have a Catalan by Zephyr. Closed Catalan choice by Viper, not taking on c4 despite the option. c5 is usually not a good idea when black has the option of playing b6. In general, it's better to play c5 only after a6 is in, so that square is a little bit weaker. And black missed the point of trying to undermine the pawn structure and made c5 a very good move. When black puts a pawn in the center, in general, it may have to be. Kell has been open for white, but black has an imposing advantage on with e4. Oh, what happened here? Black resigned. What? Oh no, not a mouse slip. This was definitely a mouse slip. Not good. We're back. Actually, I did want to see that screen because we're going to try to GTO our opening some more. Make sure that all of these counts are correct and that I can write them down. e4. I want 4 1 e4s. The others are nice and even. 2 b3s. 4 f4s. And let's see if what we need. We need 2 more e3s to round it off. Where I am good on b4s. Need 4 g4s. I can probably. I don't think I'm going to get all 4 c3s in. 2 f3s? What? On the first move. 3 g3s. Now I probably only have the keyboard really does seem to be not working as well as it should be. How are you, Rogan? At least this time I've written them down and I'm going to try to hash them out. We're going to do this one right after the other. We're going to get all of our GTO in. If we can. Today. Maybe with the help of some jettisonable hyperbullet. Let's reload to see that we're not already. Hold on, let me reload again. Oh, I'm on page 2. I am debating whether or not I want to get the video course for the chess calculation by R.B. Ramesh on Chessable. It is on sale for $125. Crazy that I'm even considering it. Absolutely crazy that I'm even remotely considering it. Don't know what I'm. Lee Cooper, last man standing. Tedious rook and pawn ending. Rook and 3 versus rook and 2. A very unusual formation, actually. Now, is this winning for white? Might have played for f4 there to grab the space. But this will do. This somewhat loud. I do have to get up earlier. No, I'm losing frames already. Oh, I see. I did a Windows restart. Exit Zoom. I'm going to exit everything that I don't absolutely need. Even exiting Discord for a moment. Exiting Skype. Why does Microsoft Teams even start up? Who uses that? Does anybody actually use Microsoft Teams? How pleasing is it? Quit that. Did not realize that might actually be the culprit, that last one. The screen recorder. As black, we are still perfecting our French. There's no doubt about it. We're perfecting our French. Then we're going to work on every conceivable kind of Sicilian. As soon as I reach a certain level of proficiency in this. Now, the French defense is commonly known to be rather drawish in nature. But you know what? This is a fascinating move that I had not considered. Well, he missed the boat with queen b5 check and queen takes b7. That much is true. He was not really paying attention. We do have to stop knight to g5. We're going to have a little bit of a hurdle here. What? That is where my bishop wanted to go. So thank you for the extra tempo. Knight g5 looked like an option to grab the bishop pair. Knight g5 looked like an option to grab the bishop pair. I wasn't going to capture. I was going to go into this massively yeah, knight to g5 was probably best. No longer. No longer best. Knight to e5. Is it time? It could well be time to start removing the defenders of such squares. Constance did not prioritize king safety here. Bishop f5. I'm taking the free pawn there. I'm going to make him move his knight again, I guess. It was better to do that, honestly. Can we keep him in this mix? Pawn takes, bishop takes, knight moves. It is indeed a bummer. Let's just giving no indication whatsoever that we're on to him. Unless he's watching the stream. Knight e4. I was expecting queen e4. Already he's doing better than I expected. So the c5 pawn, I'm up a piece. He is getting the bishop pair. I am a little concerned. Let's throw in an en passant just for good measure. Maybe even a fork. Uh-oh. better move. There was a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. No! Constance, K40. I do wish to trade more pieces. So let's go after one weakness. Happily agreeing to exchanges to the A3 pawn by playing this move. Now we'll threaten to threaten. Throw in a pin. If he's Microsoft Teams sucks, according to Quadraspatsky. I had to piece together that comment, to be honest. Now we're threatening mate in 2, which he did not see. Not truly a mate in 2. He can throw a bunch of wood in the way. Constance K40, thank you for being here, though. You have to just keep practicing and trying. Most importantly, you need to analyze your game. So I've not run into... Wow, my keyboard is really stiff in my condition. So what's going on in this particular position? I've never had this position as black, have I? I have had it before. I won against Zion Pasha. In Zion Pasha, I played bishop e7, which is probably the correct move. And masters have actually had this position. Knight e7 was also a candidate move. Queen e7 played by the highest rated player. No one has played bishop e6 because I could even get mated almost in that line if I'm not careful. I could lose my queen. Queen to c6, queen takes b7, queen d7, queen to b6, and then check against bishop e6 was almost devastating. What? It claims that it's equal. Well, what's the story on queen to b5 check? Knight to c6? I guess so. Queen takes b7, knight takes d4. Fair enough. That's better for me. I like it. We discovered a new move. So bishop e6, very little known move. We can check real quick. I have to actually do a little bit of this book. The exchange variation. We might do something on each of these opening variations if needed, but I hardly ever like to do opening streams in general. c5, e5, sorry, e5, c5, e takes d5, e takes d5 is chapter 5. Chapter 7 looks like it, page 126. Doesn't hurt to look this stuff up. So queen e2 check. Probably not covered at all in this book. What do you think? Yeah, I bet it's not covered at all. The symmetrical variation. As a friend of mine who used to say, worthless. Worthless. Adobe Suites. Creative Cloud, that could also be part of my problem. Because I'm still dropping frames a few seconds ago. Good morning, Zenu. How are you? We can always fire up Adobe's Creative Cloud again later. Whoops, and we lost our... And we don't need Twitter open. Anything else? Creator dashboard, egads, unstable. I certainly didn't need you to tell me that. Chess Coach Andres, someone gifted me a subscription. I love it how the winner not needs to be present to win. How are you this morning, Zenu? using? Have you done the research? Have you bought the minimum amount of equipment? I think the main key is, but in general, I don't necessarily want anyone to see me. So what do I need one of? Knight c3. All right, we can retire knight c3 after this. Happiness heaven. Good morning. Good luck, dude. Yeah. You will now join. There's no substitute for Twitch Studio. It works really, really well. It is really reliant upon your browser, I think. Unless they have a standalone app. I think they do, but in general. Kingslayer Sloan, what do you use? All right, finally, the Scandinavian toilet variation. I'm not going to commit to d4 until as much as I humanly possibly can. Do we wish to bother him? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get all the advantages of the Caro-Kann in. Can I do what I want to do here? Probably could have gone the other way. But no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this particular variation. So after my move knight c3, we're now in the full-fledged Caro-Kann main line. But I feel like we've gained a tempo. Have we gained a tempo at all? No? Nada? Butt kiss? Oh, fine. Like we're losing that tempo battle. As it turns out, our opponent is fairly well versed in Caro-Kann. In the mix here. He's taking his eye off the ball. Just to attack my queen. We're in. He's left his king in the center, which is quite kind of him, but I don't have a knight to outpost on d6 anymore. Kind of a bummer. Where he's heading. We're going to start tickling some weaknesses here. It may look like we are giving up on the e5 pawn. And we might be. Capture, capture. Fine. f4 was probably more to the point, but I wanted the option to bring my queen back to the center. Now this knight is not very steady here, to be honest. Just in case. Oops. I overlooked his primary threat. Yeah, I overlooked his primary threat. He is winning a second pawn, isn't he? You have to batten down some hatches. I didn't want to wish anyone on queen d3 check, queen takes c4 check. All right, now we're gambling. It is official. It is official that we are gambling on whether or not accustomed. Ugh, silly. I pushed his queen to the wrong square, and I should not have taken the pawn on a5. I should have gone for this in the first place and gotten rook f7 in. That would have been good. Will my opponent get around to just being up for his queen? Actually only up one pawn? Wow. Did not consider that possibility at all. He does get away. That's fascinating that he does get away. Bollock. This is, after all, what we've been planning. Don't want to be overworked in any way, shape, or form. This man is to find his way back. And I have a lot of problems on my hands. A lot of problems on my hands. We need some simplification. I'm excruciatingly low on time. Ouch. Yeah, I'll give you the benefit of that. I'll give you the benefit of that. All right, my keyboard is back. Something must have had control over it. So on knight c3, player database, got 860. That will have to do. And after d5, this is the only time I've ever played this variation. Most of my opponents have either played e5, knight f6, 5, bishop d3, queen e2, dubious. Bishop e7 is usually recommended, huh? Or queen c7, I imagine. Or king to b1 and queen e2. So queen e2 is still favored heavily in the master's database. Bishop takes g3. Oh, and I missed knight f5. China Goat, good morning. I didn't get to check my my statistics with the French. I already know that I didn't go over it. That's good. I'd love to discuss that with you. Did I play it this way? I have other ideas that I would like to play. Interesting. No, I'm afraid that one's going to have to go. That knight is more valuable. The king's going to have to move on this one. Continue our regularly scheduled programming. As far as development goes, is there anything? Well, thank you very much. Let's tag that pawn. All right, pawn tagged. I believe we're going to tag his king next. Tag. China Goat needs to work on his tactical proficiency. There is no doubt about it. So I'm going to check, and we're going to play d4. I always have knight h4 for my knights, therefore I am going to seek further exchanges. I'm not sure that I should definitely be getting my development finished here. What am I thinking? Ruh-roh. Maybe we can catch him. What is that sound in the background? Word. He does have a bit of an attack. But the fact that the other rook is not making it into the game is encouraging. Oops. I'm afraid this will not do for further exchanges. As he put his rook. I don't mind exchanging. Put a rook on the second rank. Migrate ends to cause some trouble. Improve my king position. Thank you. Do not check in the endgames. By the way, it is not recommended that you check in the endgame. This time control, by the way, is not a fast time control. Do not play fast in the opening. It does not make sense. So, player database as black. So here, after e4, I would love to e6. I need everything at least once, don't I? Except for the top three. The queen e2, I've won as black twice. c4 seems to have the best percentages against me. Knight c3. Yeah, king f2 is needed. Then I just play queen f6 to keep everybody happy. Forced. And queen f6 to keep the pressure on. Fascinating. Knight f6 was my first consideration. That was at least second place. Let's run page 1. With 2.5 out of 4 games. Horrid experience in the Offerspiel Blitz, the Thursday Offerspiel Blitz. Zephyr is having some technical difficulties here in this pawn ending, as white grabs more space. b4 indeed should not bode well. Yeah, that was a weakening move. Zephyr, uncharacteristic a5 move. No, he was not on the white side of it. Ayusha played e4, c5, and the Rasalimo against Zephyr's knight c6 Sicilian. Diligent. I only need one d4 before I need to retire it. What do you got? Main line. One Grandmaster colleague, Joel Benjamin, said, "It's ridiculous, knight h4. What are you going to do after bishop c8? incredibly weak. But it's worth playing for. I fell for it, though. But I am going for further development, aren't I? Or am I? I have further development no matter what I do. So let's bring our knight back to the fold. So this is an authentic pawn sacrifice, yes? But at least I attempt to keep control of certain squares in the center. Yeah. I'm willing to offer you another pawn. Joy. All right. So now the second pawn sacrifice. I'm not playing well, folks. What is that dinging to shut down his castling privileges at the cost of yet another pawn? We're definitely making a true gambit out of this. We're definitely going to try to make a true gambit out of this. Okay. I'm still not too pleased with what's happening here. Got him surrounded. He should come out with his hands up. Let's stop any funny business as well as the any funny business on f4, g7. Is he really getting castled? Takes, Sonora. Is he getting castled? I don't think so. Fair enough. Should I have considered playing Queen f3, the last move? That probably would have been the optimal concept, right? Queen f3, the last move. Well, pawn takes was interesting. Pawn takes was a natural progression. Now that we have an exchange for our two pawns, And we have an isolated pawn as well. We're going after this one instead. Should we go for more? We can. Perhaps that wasn't the best concept. This might tax his playing ability. Whew. I played that so badly, everyone. I did. I played that so badly. Knight h4 has definitely been played by me the most often. Bishop c8, e4, e6. Yeah, e4 is dubious. Not recommended. e3 is probably better, yeah? Knight f3? According to Joel Benjamin, he is correct. Knight f3 is the best move. What am I going to do after bishop c8? And then after e6, I failed to notice the attack on my e4 pawn and return my knight to c3. Tried to lock down on the movement of the knight, which was really silly. My opponent can take a pawn. Knight e7 is what he should play. Knight e5 did occur to me as the best move. What is the threat, though? After knight e5, queen takes a5, he's got queen c3. That is what I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that he had queen c3 to try to force further exchanges. They suggested just b5 by black. Takes, and knight b6. Yeah. Silly me. So bishop c5 was designed against all of that. Bishop d7, the weakness of all of his squares. Queen a3. Oh, silly me. Queen a3, knight d5, bishop d6, and he is begging, borrowing, and hopefully stealing for an opportunity to try to get something going here. After queen a3, do they give a continuation? They give only knight to g6. But after knight on f to d5, bishop takes d5, knight takes d5, knight c4, and I dive in to all the squares. Is that for reals? So if knight d5, c takes d5, that would have free up his bishop. Oh no, but he can't do that because his knight is hanging. Got it. Yes, queen a3 was very clear. Rook on e to b1. I only considered queen to f3 in order to keep the pressure on that pawn. He still can't castle. Queen f3 is in the top 4, and I am up a piece. It is going to be met by bishop takes a6. It's tough for me to get the pawns back, though. Stockfish is notoriously materialistic. Knight to g4 was far from the best move. But I did have a concept, and he was supposed to play e takes d5, bishop takes d7, bishop takes g4, as I mentioned in the game. And he missed that one. After this, the material is equal. All I have to do now is outplay my opponent. e5 was a hasty move to try to get his stuff out. Queen to b, and rook to e1 resumes business as usual. What was going to happen after rook takes e5? It's all over. Should play rook to g8. But I managed to wield my way to the square g6. And it all worked out well. Congratulations, Ayusha. Welcome to the dojo. Nicely done. How did everyone else finish that we know? Nico, what happened today? Oh, Nico did not play? Hopefully Nico's okay. He may have been watching. My late start and hiccup in the fourth round was not enough to get me on the podium. Yes, the Windows restart did cost me. And I'm still dropping frames. I'm going to do some maintenance, and I am going to return for a quick attempt at trying to figure out what's going on with my system. There may be a Windows update in the background. So we've shut down nearly everything that we need to shut down. There's a notification over here on news. Maybe I don't need news. How about that? Why do I have news here? This widget settings for weather, yada, 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 watch list, etc. Get that. The widget setting gives me 54 degrees outside. I have my chat to tell me what the weather's like in New York City. I don't want to sign out of Windows, but I do want to remove this widget from my no widgets. Good. Turn widgets off. Task view. I've never seen the task view option. Wow. Task view brings up all the windows the way the bottom right-hand corner used to do. I don't think that's taking any internet. Any ideas? Josh Clems. I am live. Good morning. How are you, Josh? I was experiencing some technical difficulties and I am losing frames, and I'm trying to determine why. I know that I was dropping frames yesterday and I assumed that it was a Windows update. I'll check again now very quickly. I might need to restart my wireless. That could also be it. I don't necessarily want to do that. How are you, Josh? I'm trying to decide whether or not you are the Josh that I know, or if you're the Josh that I have yet to know. Where are you from, Josh? Tomorrow morning, by the way, everyone, we will be in the Rapid and Classical Dojo. Vegas, lovely, lovely. I'm so jealous. So, what brings you to Vegas? Wait a minute, what's going on in Las Vegas right now in chess? Is there something I'm missing? Oh, you're up to chess right now in Las Vegas because that's what you're doing. Yes, welcome to the dojo. I don't know that you already know me that well. I'll throw up my experience. The middle link in that dojo thread, just don't hurt it. I thought you'd be in Vegas for poker. That would be what I would be in Vegas to do. Were you in today's? Well, hell no. You're not a gambler and you live in Vegas? I actually don't refer to or think of poker as true gambling. there's a certain amount of speculative decision making that needs to be done. So tomorrow is Raphael Vaganyan's birthday. Let's see how we're doing. We're good through the 29th of October. The rapid events. You just don't have the friends here? Yeah. Do you normally live in Vegas, or you're working in Vegas? Or you're vacationing in Vegas? One of the three. We have a fellow in Nevada, the mad physicist. Ah, that's kind of you. I'm trying my best. I have quite a number of poker friends and chess friends. I'm very jealous. It is, as we learned a little while ago, using our weather command, it is a very healthy 66 degrees in the morning, but it gets very warm still later in the day, because you are after all in the desert. Whereas that's cool. Definitely sign up for the dojo and get your training in every day. Obviously, this is not a good time for you because it's like 4:13 a.m. Why are you working at 4:13 a.m.? That's why I figured you were coming from the poker tables. On Sunday, it is the streamer Lila Karitsi's birthday. You work with real China. Oh, so you're still ahead of that curve. I didn't see you in New York City recently, did I? I know that the Josh that I know is a rather global fellow, so I have no idea where he could be at any given moment. Interesting. It's been a while. Street Deep, good morning. Interesting. Whoops. Brought up the exit strategy to the right. And I have not seen the chess bay on lately this morning. Where could they possibly be? I have never seen this streamer before, the streamer that I am about to raid. But I apparently follow them. They have a surprisingly non-existent rating. And we will give them our best. I'm going to be back in a few minutes, Josh. I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I may exit, but I'm going to be back in a few minutes. Okay, Josh? Assuming that I shouldn't even jinx myself by saying I'm going to be back in a few minutes, because it's usually the end of my stream at this time. I'll be on Little Hogs and Native American Hogs. But I am going to pass everybody over to Elena. I'm going to apologize, Josh, profusely as I attempt to repair some of the damages. Now, it looks like that widget may have been causing my problems, because I'm not losing frames anymore. I haven't lost any frames in a little while. Let's fire up the music again and see if that was part of it. I might also see my wife. My wife? Interesting. Nah, she would never come into the office this early in the morning. By the way, the Chess Informant 152 is way overdue for a review, so it is almost time for us to do something with that. I don't know that I'll do that this morning as well. But I'm quite happy that we're not losing any frames for the YouTube if we do a YouTube stretch or a YouTube plug on the Chess Informant, which is what I was actually thinking of doing, because they are a wonderful sponsor of mine, and I like plugging all of their products on average. And needless to say, whoops. My wife? No, it was my sister-in-law that passed away recently. My sister-in-law passed away recently, and we had to attend the funeral. Unfortunately. But if this is true, why? Am I that old that I have to be concerned with Aw. Rainbows, ribbons and rainbows. All right, needless to say, let's see what kind of a streamer this is. Since they have 11.2K followers, we're going to find out what's going on. I'm curious as to how this stream is. We're going to check it out. I will be back hopefully in just a few minutes with what needs to be done. Ciao, thank you very much. Have a great day. Josh?